Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. We're going to jump right in today because we are breaking down an absolute roller coaster of a match. I'm talking about that intense round of 16 clash between the USA and Belgium from the 2026 World Cup. If you're a fan of high-stakes, tactical chess matches, and honestly just sheer emotional whiplash, you are in the exact right place. We're going to deconstruct this epic first half and see exactly how the momentum shifted, pretty much minute by thrilling minute. So, picture this. The backdrop for this knockout fixture was nothing short of cinematic. We're at Lumen Field in Seattle, and it is packed to the absolute brim. You've got passionate American supporters belting out the national anthem at full volume. The atmosphere was just raucous. But hovering over this incredible scene was this massive cloud of controversy. The storyline completely dominating all the pre-match discussions was the highly debated decision to reinstate American striker Folarin Balogun after his previous red card. The pressure on the American co-hosts was already sky high, and this whole debate just set an incredibly high-stakes mood before the referee even blew the starting whistle. And before a ball was even kicked, we had a fascinating managerial showdown unfold. Over on the United States side, manager Mauricio Pochettino opted for continuity. He fielded a completely unchanged attacking lineup. But Belgium manager Rudy Garcia, he made a jaw-dropping gamble. He actually left superstars Kevin De Bruyne and Jeremy Doku on the bench to preserve them. I mean, in a knockout match against a fired-up host nation, that is an incredibly risky roll of the dice. Act 1. The setup and shock. Now, you might think resting stars means taking it easy, right? Absolutely not. Belgium came out aiming to aggressively press and silence that Seattle crowd right out of the gate. And the global gravity of this match, it was immense. Just looking at the VIP boxes, we had refereeing legend Pierluigi Collina right alongside coaching icon Jill Ellis. And just below them, FIFA president Gianni Infantino and US soccer president Cindy Parlow-Cone. The literal heavyweights of the footballing world were locked in on this. And wow, the players delivered a show immediately. Literally 1 minute in, the frantic pace completely caught the US off guard. The Red Devils take a deep throw in, it leads to a sloppy half clearance, and the ball falls perfectly to Timothy Castagni for a brilliant strike. US goalkeeper Matt Fed had to pull off arguably his most spectacular save of the entire tournament right then and there just to deny an early opener. You could tell the United States was rattled by the high press. They were really struggling to build out from the back and forcing overhit passes. Well, that early pressure was a glaring warning sign, because in the 9th minute, Belgium's sustained buildup completely cracked the American defense. The sequence was so clinical. Belgium switches play out wide to Trossard. U.S. defender Alex Freeman fails to clear it cleanly, and suddenly it's just chaos in the box. Nicholas Raskin anticipates the loose ball, squares it sharply, and Charles de Ketelaere just darts into open space to poke it past the keeper. Boom. 1-0 Belgium, and Lumen Field goes completely stunned. Act 2. The grinding comeback. So following that opening goal, the United States is under immense pressure to respond, and the match basically turns into a bruising, grinding midfield battle. In the 11th minute, Tyler Adams somehow escapes a card after a really hard foul on de Ketelaere. By minute 13, the physical toll is already rising. Chris Richards literally takes a powerful pass directly to the face. Belgium was completely dominating the expected goals metric. But then, the dynamic abruptly shifted in the 19th minute. Belgium midfielder Amadou Onana suffers a match-ending knee injury. It forces a massive pause in the game and brings Hans Vanaken off the bench. As this quote highlights, seizing upon the disruption of Onana's exit, the United States pushed forward aggressively. You could feel the momentum starting to sway. Balogun went into a full sprint to pressure Courtois. Tyler Adams absorbed a brutal collision just to stop a dangerous counterattack. And because of that sheer grit, the U.S. finally began to dictate possession. They forced the Belgian defense deeper, which finally gave Christian Pulisic some open space to actually operate. And all that relentless American pressure finally boiled over in the 30th minute. Folarin Balogun uses his strength right near the penalty arc, forcing a pretty desperate foul by Brendan Michel. So, standing over the dead ball in a highly dangerous position, Malik Tillman steps up. He strikes it with immense power right into the wall, and then the magic happens. A wicked deflection completely wrong-foots Thibaut Courtois, who was already diving the opposite way. And the ball sails cleanly into the right side of the net, 1-1. Lumen Field absolutely erupted. It was deafening. The American supporters roared, celebrating this massive psychological milestone that just shifted the momentum entirely back to the United States. Act 3. The sudden heartbreak. But, as we all know in knockout stage football, emotions can turn on a dime. We really have to ask ourselves, how long would this ecstasy last? Because when you expend that much emotional and physical energy fighting your way back against a European giant, maintaining your focus is the ultimate test. The answer, unfortunately for the co-hosts, was just 2 minutes. In the 33rd minute, the American backline endured an absolute nightmare scenario. Leandro Trossard receives the ball wide left, easily beats his man to the goal line, and just sends this looping cross to the back post. Charles de Ketelaere times his run perfectly. He completely outjumps veteran Tim Ream for an easy tap-in header. It's a spectacular brace for de Ketelaere, instantly restoring Belgium's 2-1 lead and just brutally punishing a momentary defensive lapse from the U.S. The final 10 minutes of the half were incredibly frantic, as the U.S. desperately chased another equalizer. Freeman headed down a deep throw to Balogun, but he fired it high. Frustrations clearly boiled over with a whole flurry of late corners and a reckless yellow card for Weston McKennie. Ultimately, the referee blew the whistle for the half, with Belgium holding on to a razor-thin 2-1 advantage. Which leaves us with this burning question to wrap up this explainer. Down 2-1, having been exposed twice on the flanks and in the air, can the American co-hosts fix their glaring defensive vulnerabilities in the locker room? Or will Rudy Garcia's massive pregame gamble pay off, ending the United States World Cup dream right there on home soil? The stage is perfectly set for an explosive second half. Thank you so much for joining me. Keep your eyes on those tactical adjustments, and I'll catch you next time.